Okay, hi you guys. I'm going to be talking about sex and birth control. I thought that this subject was really important to talk about because being a young woman, sex and birth control is going to be one of the things that revolves around my life, your life. It's gonna come up. So let's talk about it. So I'm going to talk about my birth control experience, the different types of birth control options that are out there, abstinence, STDs, STIs, being a virgin, and all of that good stuff. So there are different types of birth controls that are out there. It's just a matter of you knowing which one will work for you. And the types are the implanton, you can get the patch, you can get the NuvaRing. I was on the depot shot, and the pill, all different types. So I took the depot shot for about 2 years. I took it June 2013 and I stopped. My last shot was March 2015. So I'm no longer on birth control anymore, and I'll tell you why. So basically, I was sexually active with my boyfriend at the time, and I wanted some extra protection because ain't nobody about to have no babies. Ain't no babies. We not with that or whatever. So I was like, I told my doctor that I want options, like what type of birth control can you give me? She explained to me all of the options that I just explained to y'all, and what stood out to me was the depot shot, mainly because you didn't have to take it every day like the pill, only had to take it 3 times a month, 3 times every month. And I was cool with that. Like, I was just like, yeah, let's do that. Now, what y'all need to do before y'all get on any type of birth control is make sure you know what you're putting into your body. Know the symptoms, know what you're going to experience, because everybody's experience is different, but it's really good to know what you're putting inside your body. And at the time, I didn't even think to look up, oh, what's the depot shot? What kind of hormones are going to be injected into me? I didn't think about stuff like that. So I scheduled my appointment. A lot of doctors I know recommend you to be on your period or almost on your period when you take the depot shot. I was actually gonna get my period that Friday. I got that shot that Thursday. So as soon as I got it, I started noticing changes because I didn't get my period that next day. And then after a while, I started experiencing long periods, which is one of the symptoms. I bled for like about a month, and when you take this birth control, any type of birth control, make sure you have pads and tampons on deck, panty liners. They will become your best friends because you're gonna need them. So I bled for at least about a month, which is normal. I experienced spotting, and then after a while I didn't have any more periods. I did experience a lot of weight gain. I gained about maybe 27 pounds while on the depot. That's a lot, but I lost that weight. But I gained weight. I had mood swings all the time. I was crying. I was everywhere. I was angry. I was upset. And so in the first year of me, having the depot, those are all of the things that I experienced. It didn't start to get intense until maybe like before the second year period. And that was like October 2014. I started experiencing like really bad anxiety and nervousness. And I had panic attacks a lot, and I remember having my first panic attack at the mall, and it wasn't fun. And I just was thinking, after a while I started thinking, well, maybe it's the hormones that I'm injecting into my body that's making me more anxious and making me, have these panic attacks. Because I was having panic attacks and things like daily. Like, it got bad to where like I couldn't go nowhere, I couldn't leave my house. So yeah, it was really bad. So after a while, that's why I chose ultimately to stop taking the birth control, simply because I had really bad anxiety. And my appetite was really weird. That's how I started losing the weight, because the anxiety would make me have a nervous stomach and I would not eat as much. and I just started dropping the pounds off, and I really didn't feel like myself anymore. So that's why, you know, I got off of it. Now I'm fine. I've been off of it, you know, for like a couple of months now. Like I said, that was back in March, and it's July now, so I've been off of it for quite a while, and I'm pretty much back to normal. I still experience anxiety, but it wasn't as bad as when I was on the Depo shot. So you guys, like I said, take heed to what you're putting into your body, because you don't know how you're going to react to it. Now, that's just my experience. I don't want to hinder you guys from getting birth control or anything, because birth control is a good thing. You just got to know what you're putting into your body. So sex. I feel like for a lot of young girls, we are most pressured. Actually, we live in a sexualized world. Everything that you see on TV, even like little commercials and things like that, like freaking about food, like everything is sexual. And I know it's like really hard growing up and seeing that, and you know, thinking, you know, this is what you need to be.
Wait.
Okay.
Wait. No, just keep the camera on. You can put this on you.
Okay.
Yeah, I love you. If you don't say it back,
Yeah.
no problem.
Okay. Anyway, so we live in a very sexualized world, and we see things on TV that's gonna make us, you know, think, okay, maybe this is what we need to be, or this is what we want to be, especially being a young girl and, you know, getting into boys and having feelings for boys. You know, you feel like that you have to, or girls, and you have to feel like that you have to put yourself out there and do certain things just to win someone's love. Sex is a very important thing. Sex is something that I do feel like, looking back on it now, because I'm not a virgin, y'all, looking back on it now, it's something very important. It's something very sacred. If I could rewind time, I would become abstinent. I would become abstinent, to be honest with you, because I remember being in a relationship with my ex, and like, you know, we were sexually active. It was a bad relationship. And I noticed that because me and him shared that bond sexually, it was really hard for me, you know, to let him go, even though he treated me like crap, because I wasn't as intimate with anybody else other than him. So I kind of felt this attachment, even though he wasn't a good guy. I still felt this attachment to him, because I felt like that because we shared that, you know, I needed to stay with him. But that's the thing about sex. It's like, you don't want to share your prized possessions, your goods, with somebody that does not deserve it. And I don't want to feel like I'm like preaching to you guys or whatever, and I don't want to seem hypocritical, but that's just being the real honest truth. You know, and even coming from a person who's not a virgin, I do feel like that if I could rewind time and become abstinent, I would feel more better, you know, to be honest with you. But yeah, I feel like abstinence is a really good thing. But if you do partake in sexual activities, make sure you're safe. Make sure you're using condoms, you're using birth control, because STDs, STIs, they're out there. You don't know. Girls, even if you're like a young age and you're like 14 or whatever, and you're talking to your little 14-year-old boyfriend, and you know he wants you to have sex with him, or if y'all just want to have sex, make sure you ask this Negro who else he's been sleeping with. You need to know people's sexual history, because you can get a disease like that, and because you know you don't know who people are sleeping with. Like, it's really scary if you really think about it. Like, I'm not trying to like scare y'all, but if you really think about it, it's scary nowadays to have sex with somebody, because everybody's getting stuff. I know people personally who have stuff, you know what I mean? And who are, you know, underage mothers and stuff like that. Like, no. So that's just really important. It's like, y'all need to stay safe. It's like, you know, I understand you're gonna have sex, it's human nature. Just when you do it, make sure you're protected, and you get checked out. You go to the clinic, go to the doctor, get checked up. That's really, really, really important. So that's pretty much that all I have to say about that subject. Birth control is a good thing. Just gotta figure out what kind of birth control is good for you. And sex is very, it's something serious. And if you choose to share that special thing, because your virginity is very special, like, and for virgins out there, don't feel bad. Even if you're like a 30-year-old virgin, don't feel bad, because when that right person comes, you'll know and you'll feel good about it, and you won't have no regrets, because keeping your virginity is very sacred. And that's just how I feel about it, y'all. Okay, so thank you for listening. Despite all of the casualties, because I had to re-record this video like a whole bunch of times. But yeah,